That should do it. Welcome to the stream. So, back with Taffs Well. Yeah. So last time out we realized that there's some money here for some reason. And that money wants to be spent. Problem is we cannot spend it on player contracts, well, because the club doesn't give out part-time or even full-time contracts. So I guess we are stuck with non-contracts, so we might as well spend it on staff and scouting and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Maybe youth setup or something like this. But the problem is we're new to this club and the chairman thinks we're, you know, spending all that money. He wants to hoard this. So I guess we need to convince the dragon at some point to spend some of the money. That said, obviously this is a very generous situation, quite contrary to what we're used to. Also, given the viewership, I just got reminded that we need to rename one of the players or one of the staff members. So in case you want to come forward, I still want to do this. And if you're still lurking right now and want to do it in an hour, just let me know. I just do not want to forget it. So, you know, channel points invested is channel points well spent. At least that's what I want to do with them. Also, there's a game coming up. A game against Goitre United. And I think we can probably talk about recruitment too. At least once scouting is set up. I would have loved to have a pre-season with this club, but apparently I came in too late. So, yeah. That said, there's some scouting knowledge in this club, right? Here. This looks more or less fine. Yeah, and some of the knowledge is ours, obviously. Yeah, so we need Scotland and Ireland, basically. And Northern Ireland, if you want to have it separated. So, we need all of those. And then the oceanic stuff. I think we talked about this. The good part is, given club finances, staff wages are ridiculous. There's our own contract, which is quite an expensive one. And then there's 10 euros for the assistant coach. By the way, in case somebody sees this and knows where to change this into assistant manager, I don't know why this has been changed. In fact, we can look at the language settings right now. Sure. I guess this is British English too. Now it will be all over the place, all of it. He's called an assistant manager now. Apparently this is it. Alright. So back to normal stuff, the names. And the Americans can keep their descriptions. Cool! That went better than anticipated. So... yeah, sure. We had a look for different coaches. And we want to see... is there transfer coming in? Apparently for a physio and a scout. Yeah, I remember that guy. He has scouting knowledge in Angola. That's where we signed him. Also the physio. So we still have some space for the goalkeeping coach, I guess. Right. Yeah, that'll be fantastic, because I need to look through these goalkeeping coaches and find out if any one of these has more than 1-star goalkeeping coaching. If it's just 1-star goalkeeping coaching, we can just do this ourselves, right? Here. I guess if I did nothing but goalkeeping coaching, it would go to 1.5. Yeah, great. So we need 1.5-star goalkeeping coaching, and we need to have it now. Hi Mies, welcome back to the stream. I hope you brought some time. at least I did. So the hopes is, I didn't mention this just yet because nobody was watching, but at this point I can probably mention it. The goal is to go for at least 3 hours today, maybe more, depending on how long I have until my better half comes home. But I guess we have 3 hours at least. So there's that. And we will do all the boring stuff, obviously. Alright, back to goalkeeping coaches. So this is a 4-4-2-2. This is handling. And determination is 5, motivating is 4, and level of discipline is 11. Yeah, we did. We have. The problem with this is, the problem is that the players leave after we registered them. So I think that's unfortunate, but there's a way around it, and the way around it is to play players that do not need to be registered. I don't know. And that description fits everyone that is below 21, or below 21 at the start of the season or something like this. So basically 20-year-olds or below, we're totally fine. There's only one problem: they need a work permit. And to circumvent that issue, we need them to be from the basically the United Kingdom plus. Exactly. Yes, exactly. True. So we basically we composed a squad of under 20-year-olds because we can sign them at any point. Well, there's transfer windows and stuff, I guess. But we can also make up a youth squad if we want to, of players with decent personalities and basically youngsters that come in that will not play for the first team, and we use them as backup for the first team. So given that they are all on non-contracts, and for the youth players we usually offer them a whopping €0 per game, we might as well have a youth team. That said, that might change drastically once we need to pay them, obviously. But yeah, that's a way to circumvent the circumstances. On the other hand, I think at some point we need to increase the quality of the squad, and that's a real problem here. I don't know how to do this without losing the players. So maybe the save gets highly annoying really fast. I don't know. No, not really. I mean, we made 2 signings if I'm not... Well, we made two signings that appeared in the first team. Mr. Jenkins here. who is a 17-year-old that trains as a carriero right now. He's not great, but none of the squad is, really. Also for midfielder, this is really, you know, weak and tiny. But he's 17, so maybe he'll grow. Yeah, I know. But he's a decent passer. For us, actually, this is a plus. Due to the passing. Because there was absolutely nobody that could play a pass in midfield. And McIver here is similar, but a bit better overall. Spirited personality, which is also a plus, and unflappable as a media handling. By the way, full credit to Sealand here, but there was an additional website released by another guy. Hi, welcome to the stream. By another guy that helps you judge the personalities of the players. This is on database level, but it doesn't matter much. So you can slap in the personality and the media handling and find out what the ranges are, and it even has some nice graphical representation. So in case anyone needs that, this is probably what I'll use going forward, because it's the visualization is better than what I used to use up until now. Yeah, so much for that. With the players that are currently with the squad, I think some of them might leave, like Morgan James here. He's too good for this squad, so we need replacements. And we need replacements on, let's just say, 2-star level. I don't know, we don't have star ratings just yet, right? There's nothing but, I think, an assistant manager for the youth team, and that's it. So, but we will get personnel at one point. Yeah, it's alright. Maybe someone else. There's other people in this chat, right? Depends a lot on how you play Football Manager and so on. Okay. Otherwise, the goalkeeping coaching thing. This one looks promising. Steve Richards. And this is due to the fact that he's got decent mentals. The distribution is really bad, but I don't care. He just needs to handle one category. So I guess I'm gonna slap this in the calculator too. So distribution is 1, the other ones are 4. And then we've got 9, 17, 4. Yeah. So he's a two-star coach for shot stopping, that is, and 1.5 for handling. So if we just employ him for one of the two, we're fine. So I guess we will have a goalkeeping coach, a balanced one at that. I don't care much. He's rather expensive for our taste, but it doesn't matter. We'll just try to offer him 8 and well, maybe go with 9. This is not enough, so we will pay him 15 because we have the money. Who cares? So now we will get the goalkeeping coach, most likely. We'll still continue the advert though. Maybe somebody else comes in. Head of youth development, that's a big problem. Yes, there is. But this is just a case of learning them by heart, if that makes any sense. There's a rule set. So once you realize that every spirited player is between, I don't know, I don't know him by heart, but once you realize every spirited player is between 5 and 15 professionalism, you realize that these are middle on the road and can be included in a professional squad. It avoids the worst of it. Most likely you're gonna end up with a 10 or something. So that's totally fine. And they usually come with decent pressure. I know that from the description. Spirited. This is what it implies. So if now there's evasive media handling on top, or level-headed or something, this indicates something else. Level-headed, for example, indicates a certain loyalty, if I'm not mistaken. So now you can combine those two, and you get a picture. So, to me, the difference between knowing that approximately, and knowing that, well, the exact ranges, it's like 2 or 3 points. It doesn't matter much. So, I guess I, for example, would consider it some sort of cheating. Hi, welcome back to the stream. If, for example, you display the attribute values of every player every time and disable scouting, that feels unrealistic to me. On the other hand, it also feels unrealistic to me not to do that kind of data mining on a person, on a person's personality. Given that you do that in real life, right? Prior to hiring somebody, obviously you have a look at their social media presence. So, why not do that kind of stuff here? There's tools for this in real life, in HR, that do that kind of stuff. In fact, I had a look into some of this stuff recently, for reasons not mentionable here. But you can do this kind of stuff. So I guess it feels similar to me, and that's why I do it. I hope that explains it. Doesn't say, so that doesn't mean that somebody else's opinion is wrong. Different opinions are totally fine. It's personal preference. To answer your question, Ginger, more or less fine, I think. I'm trying to take it slow today and just skip through some of these things. And maybe we can have a chat along the way and have a good time. I guess that's my plan. Because I think with streaming comes a certain willingness to rush stuff just to keep the stream interesting. And I'm not sure if this is the way we want this to be. In the end, we want this to be entertaining and some sort of chill and without conflicts and so on and so forth. So I guess this is what I'm trying to do right now. Yeah. But tell me about your days. It's been 2 days, I think. So let me know what's new with you. I don't know, in private life or in Football Manager or whatever. Whatever you feel is viable to tell on the internet, right? So, you know, keep it to a degree private. Yeah, so head of youth development. And by the way, I do the same for head of youth developments. So this is staff that I'm willing to sign. I judge them by the personality. And I have a look into their media handling as well as personality to find out if they are decent and produce decent youth. I don't care much about ability and potential first and foremost. I just want the personality to be good, otherwise they can be, I don't know, I'm never gonna use a mercenary here. I just don't want to. And balanced personality is, well, rubbish. But we might need to use one of those. No, he's spirited, that's okay. So in his case, for example, he's spirited and evasive. Oh, so you're a player manager or something? How does this work? You included yourself in your save? Oh no, you are in the database, right? I seem to remember. We had a short chat about this, if I'm not mistaken. So what team did you transfer to? Let us know. Yeah, I remember. Oh, so you transferred to a new team in real life? Wow. Wow. All right. Well, I guess congratulations. That's cool. We will probably, well, we'll follow your story, I guess. This is a way to be to become famous. Nah, probably not. This is a small-scale stream. Nobody will know. But yeah, I guess congratulations. Uh, yeah. So in this case, this is very important because it's the head of youth development. Yeah, I hope you do. Just keep up the hard work and whatever they say for professional footballers. You know this all by heart, well, way better than us. So you know what's needed. And obviously, just like every person in real life, there will be some minor mistakes. Just try to be professional about it and you will get there, I'm sure. And obviously we wish you the best of luck with all of that. Because some things you cannot change. Like, I don't know, nobody wants to be injured, for example. So, yeah. Hopefully that works out fine. So in case you're willing to go with this, Mies, I will try to guesstimate this, right? You gotta trust me on this. So this is spirited. As I mentioned, I think mediocre professionalism, but I think it's 5 to 14 or something like this, the range. I think there is a decent amount of pressure with this personality, if I'm not mistaken. And this gets amplified by the fact that this guy's evasive. I think evasive implies a high amount of pressure. The rest can be all over the place, more or less. And I think this guy doesn't have high amounts of controversy, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what I deduct from the words. Now, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to sign him anyway, because he's the best that we have, and I do not want to go with one of the balanced ones. So maybe we can get him for 25. Or we will pay him 30, because why not? And we need a head of youth development. So there's that. In case somebody else comes in, well, But I'm still gonna slap him into the calculator just to confirm this, because I might be way off, right? So, spirited evasive. And I treat this like a new gen, like a player, right? He has determination 6, not that it matters much. Yeah. So, professionalism and pressure are mediocre to high. I think that's what I mentioned. And temperament is mediocre. The rest of it can be all over the place, more or less. So I was wrong about the controversy. He doesn't have really low controversy. But, yeah, doesn't matter much. I guess the important part is professionalism, and you just learn them by heart. So you have a point, I think. Because I might as well go with him anyway. But for example, if there would be volatile confrontational in here, then I would think about it very hard. Because I don't want to include this kind of personnel. We need a defensive midfielder. We do not want this guy though. We want somebody that can use his feet for tackling. So apparently we brought in trialists. That's better. It's not great, but that's better. Fairly pro, decent tackler. Where's the problem? He's Northern Irish. I seem to be missing something. So I guess we can offer a contract to this guy, right? Cause Harry Martin, our current defensive midfielder, which I hardly know, to be perfectly honest. I guess I know him since 3 weeks or something. He's under bid from Denbig, whatever it's pronounced. So we need a replacement. He'll be gone, most likely. And this guy has decent tackling, decent aggression. He's, for a 20-year-old, that's alright strength-wise. Could be a bit faster, but overall this isn't not horrible physicals. And the short simple passes are fine with me. For him. Yes, his passing is 9, he could do better. But look at that flair, look at that vision. He doesn't know how to play a decent pass. Well, technically. But he will not see opportunities for long balls. So I guess we try to sign this guy. As a youngster, just because we can. Yeah, he will agree to that. And same with the money. We'll try to go as low as we can. Hopefully that works out just fine. We'll find out. But I think in this situation we stand a chance. Yeah, forget about it. Fine. There we go. What about this guy? Right-footed, spirited, and, well, in his case, he's unflappable and media-friendly. Unflappable, I think, is just a high amount of pressure, I'm not sure. You can probably tell I cannot do this all by heart. This is why I use calculators sometimes. He's pacey, but he tries to play way out of trouble, and I don't like that in a player. Yeah, so hopes are we find somebody else. On the other hand... well... I guess it's your time, you can do with your time whatever you want. So, if that sounds fun to you, feel free to do that. And if you have more fun doing something else, do something else. It's totally fine. There's a balance player that joins the club. Apparently for absolutely no pay. This sounds like me. And that scout comes in too. Fantastic. So, he'll be with the U19, first and foremost. For now, that is. And given his skill set, yeah, I guess this is okay. Obviously, he needs better positioning and marking. Also, the long throws are really, really off for a wingback. He has decent heading too. This looks like a center back to me. Let's have a look. Well, strength is not there. Yeah, neither am I. That's why I play one. In fact, this is one of the downsides of streaming. You cannot play by yourself. Well, you can, but in that case, you know, you would either need a second save, which I don't have, or you would need to stream every single time. And let's just put it that way. To have somebody in the apartment that talks for 9 hours a day and you cannot mute them is rather annoying to whoever lives with me. So I guess there needs to be a break from time to time. And in that time I will not play Football Manager. That's it. That's how it works. Apparently this is heavy. No idea why. Well, he'll get used to it. And with the heading, I'm not so fond of. Sure, heading is nice, but he doesn't have the strength to be central defender. He doesn't play the precision. I'd rather use what we have here. And marking and positioning, I'm not so sure about the marking and the tackling, but hopefully, at least he will get some of it, some of the mentals here. That said, teamwork and work rate are really great. So, yeah, but he's got average personality. Same as Zola. I guess. Not intended as an insult to the real person. It's just balanced. Whatever balanced means in this area. Alright. So, we've got a scout. He can recommend a signing immediately. And there's Ryan Gibson. Ryan Gibson is yet another midfielder. Unambitious, which is a negative personality, but level-headed. I think this is acceptable professionalism and loyalty, if I'm not mistaken. There's a certain lack of ambition, but that's not too bad. And I want him in the youth team and want him to be trained as a Metzala, if I recall correctly. Norman Martin. Who are you? Let's remove him from the shortlist. You can also go to the lower leagues with your current save. It's not a big deal, just get fired. And start over in the lower leagues later on. Not a problem. I did it, you can do it too. Yeah, well, in that case, congratulations, and I hope your time will be very fruitful going forward. I seriously do. I know how that feels. Just make him count. You can do this, you can bring success to your club until you can't. That's just the way it is. And in some cases, you can bring success to the club for a prolonged period of time. In other games, I think they say dying is part of the fun. So even though death is not included in Football Manager, you get the gist. So I wanted him to be Metzala. He has a decent long shot. This is not too far off, right? He's on attack duty due to the trait. And now we just gotta ask ourselves, what's the most important thing about this role for him? Cause his passing is fine. His technique is fine. Long shots are, for this level, that's okay-ish. I guess superior physicals would be fantastic. But I don't know where to start. Well, balance, but I can only train balance and agility together. So, either the dribbling or anticipation. Decisions aren't that great, so I guess anticipation, decisions, and off-the-ball movement, maybe? So attacking movement? Well, it's not too bad though. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Sure. Yeah, there's different interpretations of starting low or being successful, right? So this might not go down well with the rest of the streamers on Twitch. But to me, with Jidder Hogdal's IK ending in the second league was a success. Even though we got fired later on. It was an absurd success, in fact. There's absolutely no money in this club, so given the circumstances, I'm still a bit proud about it. If I can, Germans to have a hard time to be proud about anything. It's kind of in our history, I'd say. Due to political circumstances. 70 tickets. Wow. Okay, so the other problem that comes along with all of this is we're seriously lacking a playing style. Like, there's no style for this club that is dictated, and I don't feel like I've found one so far. I don't think this is a strong statement, right? But we are expected to go down. We've got 0 points after 1 game, so we can still develop a style. But overall, I think we will, most of the time, we will be inferior in comparison to the opponent. At least that's what we expect. So what do we do? Is there something that we can exploit? This guy's rather fast. Brotherton not so much. He doesn't need to play though. There's still no star ratings available, so we have 1 keeper. I guess that stuff is settled. Is there anything that we know of the keeper? For our level, he has decent passing. That's an absurd statement, but for our level, he has decent passing. And overall, he's not great. True. And also, in some of these cases, you know, winning just everything. So I don't want to criticize anyone in particular because I just can't judge, right? But there's just a difference between I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a club. There's a difference between getting 1860 Munich out of the third league into the first league and I don't know, win the Champions League with them. Because in Munich there's some sort of infrastructure, and even though 1860 is a trash can at best at this time with a lot of stinking material in it. There we go with the insults. It's still a club that has a certain infrastructure and foundation, even though the history has been horrible to them. Well, and management has been probably. But there's a difference between this kind of club and, I don't know, Sandhausen, which is the entire location has 15k people in it. The stadium, no, I don't think Sandhausen is that big. The stadium's bigger than the amount of people in the location. It feels very much like Jederhockdals IK. They've been defying the odds forever in the second league in Germany. So to bring them to the first league and to win anything with them would be absurd, right? So now we've been comparing the third league club and the second league club, and the circumstances are vastly different. And the third league club feels easier, at least to me. In a way. So I guess depending on what you pick as a starting location or a starting club, it can be very hard or very easy. And it might not look that easy at first, but every club has a plus or a minus. Yeah, and with that buying new players every season, this is some new manager syndrome. But you can still have it once you've been a while with the club. So, considering this goalkeeper's capabilities, overall, I guess we don't want him to force into one-on-ones, and we do not want him to kick the ball for long distances. Because his kicking isn't that great, and apparently, according to the description, this also includes the precision for the kicks. This is only in dead ball situations though. So, yeah, from dead ball restarts. So not an open play. And with throwing, it's the same just for every throw. So what does this tell us? well, short passing should be fine for him. For ball distribution. So, in any case, build-up play should be in a short manner, right? Yeah. I'll kick myself for throwing that into the topics list today. But whatever. It's like we have a choice. And we came up with that formation because I'm a guy without any fantasy, I guess. So I'll go into this. Roberts is still the captain. He's likely to play. He's not. The acceleration is a bit missing, right? He's rather agile. He's got decent pace, decent stamina, work rate, teamwork. This is all fine. Positioning, marking, and decisions. His decisions are okay, but the defensive attributes aren't that great. That said, his tackling is better than, the off-the-ball movement, whatever. So it's unlikely that he will create that much space by himself, but he can cover in the wide areas. That's okay. I'd rather focus him on the defensive duties for the remainder of his career, which might not be that long. Or he might play until 40 for us. Who knows? So, Roberts out here. What do we know about Roberts? His passing is crappy. His off-the-ball movement is bad. Vision is really horrible. So I guess creative passing is not a thing for him, even though his flair is 8. And the crossing is not much better. So I guess a patient game, considering these circumstances. Yeah, fewer risks is selected, cross from deep is selected, so I'd rather not have him cross the ball that much. If he had a crossing of 9, would be a different circumstance. And shooting less often and dribbling less is probably a thing too. Because dribbling is free. So, and his composure is 6. That doesn't make it much better. He's not that fast anyway. So, no risks, no dribbling, no long balls. And the shooting, his finishing is 6 and his long shots is 3. So I guess that makes him a better shot than some of the players in this squad, but not by much. Alright. Patient football by him, right? Central defender, I think the best that we have is... Was it Luke Thomas? Yeah, I think so. So... There was somebody else there. Chris Johns. No, Chris Johns is somebody else. I'm gonna learn it at some point. That's a defensive midfielder. Morgan James. Morgan James it is. This is the guy I'm looking for. He's got really decent tackling. So, this is a case of tackle harder. To me, right? He's good at tackling, he's got great aggression, he's got decent strength and really good jumping reach for this level. And for the remaining game that he will be around until he's, hired by somebody else, I guess we want him to tackle harder. Dribble less, shoot less often, hold position is totally fine. How's his passing? 6, vision 6, flair 3, I guess less risky passing it is. And as a default for him, for him only, we will have him tackle harder. Because he's good at it. Or at least he's good enough at it to try. Hopefully not for a red card, you know. Wasn't this the guy with the red carded history? I don't know. One of the players came in with an initial ban. But it might not have been him. Then there's Sam Jones and Luke Thomas. So, obviously bad passing. His tackling is okay. His aggression is okay. Strength not so much, so to me this is okay-ish tackling. And Luke Thomas... Well, it doesn't look much different, right? But Luke Thomas comes with Luke Thomas comes with the added benefit that he can play in the wingback positions. He's not great at it, but I guess in emergency situations we can play him as a right wingback. Or even as a left one, given that he has a moderately capable left foot. So I guess this is the bench player. And given that there's no goalkeeper, here we go. No specific instructions for him other than please do not take passing risks. So we've got a back three now that do not take passing risks, unsurprisingly. Left wingback position, we've got a lot of alternatives if I'm not mistaken. For some reason somebody compares these players, by the way, in the squad. I don't know who it is, because there's no assistant manager, but apparently somebody does. So, we've got a choice between Alex McDowell, Freddie Wilds, and Luke Thomas. Well, Luke Thomas we just talked about, so that leaves us with Alex McDowell and Freddie Wilds. Freddie Wilds is already really high on my list, given that he gave away the penalty last game until we lost it. So, he will have a good time in this club with us. That said, his physicals are totally fine. His tackling is okay-ish, even though he made that mistake last time out. Where's the other? Alex McDowell. That looks a bit old, but he's really pacey. So I guess he can make an appearance. Depends a bit on the training. 7.1, this is totally fine. And where's the other guy? Wiles. So, given his last performance, he can rot on the bench. Did we talk to him about this? Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, he will recover though. It's the hard work that will bring back the performances. He needs to fight for his place in the squad. With both of them, passing I don't think is a strength of them. No, forget about it. So no passing, no shooting, you know, the usual, basically. So same here, shoot less often, dribble less, cross less often, no easing off tackles, I think. Yeah, dribbling isn't good. We will not talk about the shooting because it's not worth the talk. And that's it. We have one defensive midfielder that's borderline capable, so that resolves itself. There's just... so what can we instruct him to do? Absolutely nothing. Because this is all pre-instructed and it might suit him just fine, I think. Tackle harder is fine. Hold position, yeah, that's okay. Because his attacking attributes aren't great and we need him to do this from a tactical point of view. His passing isn't great. Taking fewer risks makes sense. Dribbling less. With a dribbling of 1, I think dribbling less is a good idea. And shoot less often, same argument. Then we've got the two up in front here. We can talk about these all day, but for now these are probably the best that we have. And so these are the ones that play the penetrating passes. If anyone does. In fact, it's probably MacIver that will do this. His flair is 7, but the vision is 10. That might be enough. His flair is 4. The vision is 9. So I guess this is the one to play the creative passes and this is the one to play the possession passes, right? So let's tell him. Crossing is not a thing for both of them, I think. Yeah, crossing 3. Crossing 4. We don't want them to cross anyway, not in this formation. No, not ease of tackle. Cross less often. And the dribbling I'm not aware of. 6. And 1. So, in his case in particular... well, there's no dribbling instruction to be had. What about the shooting? Finishing 3 and long shots 2. I guess shooting is not a thing for him either. MacGyver, on the other hand, he's not a horrible dribbler, but I wouldn't want to instruct him to dribble more. So I guess we will leave it blank for now. And I don't want him to roam or something. They need to get used to the formation first. And then we have, well, I guess we've been here, right? There's the problem that we do not penetrate the opposition much so far. We've got an inverted winger here, which is fine. Chris Johns is not a great passer though, and not a great crosser. So he has the pace, but nothing else. Yeah, he's basically an athlete that he's a runner, right? He doesn't belong on the footballer's pitch. In a sense, he's got decent technique though, but whatever. He's a runner that needs to learn how to dribble or something at least. Yeah, I don't know. He probably won't make it into the squad in future seasons, but whatever. He's available right now, so he's the best we have. And on the right wing, Nat Brotherton has better passing, but I'd argue that this is a wide playmaker to a degree. That fits the trade just fine. He's not a great runner. I'm not sure if I want him in the squad at all. And this is kind of unlike me, but maybe it's a good idea to start this guy in this situation, because Sean McCaffrey is a decent dribbler and he's got decent pace. He's not great, but he's good enough. He will not cut inside with ball though. In his case, he will play a winger out here. How's his anticipation? Horrible. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, he trains as a winger on support duty. We'll just slap in the attack duty for a second to see the attributes. Well, he's got the flair, but the anticipation isn't great. So I guess to reduce his what's expected of him, we will do it like this. And he'll have some stamina and work rate training because he's 30 years old, to avoid further decline. And maybe the rest gets some experience allocated at some point, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. So in his case, we need him to play on support duty because his anticipation is so bad that will not help. Something like this. Do we need to switch these two? I don't think so. And Johns, by the way, is a similar story. He's not great at this. This is why we didn't have anyone on attack duty. There's just support duty players here all over the place. So I guess that says that we definitely need a striker on attack duty to have at least some penetration. So we'll go with a lone striker, sure. We've got a few of these though. Brotherton is not part of them, at least not to me. Shea Kirk is a strong one, but he's really slow and dead finishing and so on, no. Kirk is more of a bench option to me. Always has been. There are some arguments for Elina. In particular the fact that a target man can pull off some things. But the same can be said about him. He's got decent technicals. The physicals are really horrible. So we train him as a trequartista, but I'm not so sure if this is a good idea. It might be overdoing it. We will just get rid of him probably. Sam McHugh. Same here. Physicals, I don't know. also these traits. He does not move into channels despite being able to a degree. So I'm not convinced. That leaves us with Mark Twos. Not much better. So now I'm a bit confused what to do. Because ideally, I'd rather have either a very strong guy or a very pacey guy to accompany the good finishing. And preferably some dribbling. So he's just too slow for my taste, or too weak, depending on how you want to look at it. Elina is not very fast, but at least he's strong. But he misses a good he's missing a good finish. That said, he has the heading. So I guess we can try to pull that off, sure. Who's the primary? He's considered an important player. Yeah, so I guess Cloyd it is. But I want to look into this trick artista stuff again. I realized that I arrived at that resolution myself, but I think the instructions do not fit him. So, alright, let's go through this. Dribble more. Dribble more is okay for him. His first touch isn't great, but he's got the composure. So dribbling is fine. That's okay. Whatever role he plays in, dribbling is okay. That said, he's really slow. So he will basically dribble around the penalty spot or something. Take more risks. This is passing risks. Passing is 5, vision is 2, flair is 8. This is bullshit. He shouldn't take more passing risks. I do not want this. So Tracker Tiska is not a good role for him. Moves into channels. Sure, that would be okay. Anticipation 8. Off the ball movement 9, decisions 8. It's not great, but it works. That said, his stamina and work rate aren't that good, and his acceleration and pace are a bit off. He doesn't need moves into channels. He might as well do something else. Roam from position. Looking at his mentals, this is not the worst that we could do. But it's not like he dominates the entire league with his off-the-ball movement, so I guess it's not needed. And easing off tackles is fine with him, but I don't care much about his tackling. So, what's available? We need somebody to dribble with less risks, and moving into channels is fine. What comes to mind? So, this doesn't make much sense, just due to the hold-up ball. Forget about it. Taking more risks isn't good either. Same here. So no deploying forward for sure. Advanced forward though, much better. He's just instructed to move into channels here. We might add a dribble more. And obviously shoot more often because he's got a good finish, right? Basically play the ball in his general direction and hope he runs with it and scores. That's what we're going for. Anything else? Take fewer risks, I guess. Because, well, you know. His flair is okay, but the vision and passing are not great. And then, I guess easing off tackles is okay. But on the other hand, I don't care much. We can tell him to ease off tackles after he's been yellow carded. So, I guess the end of my rant here is that he will try to be an advanced forward. Let's have a look at the attributes. Yeah, this is not much better. So the physicals are off, obviously. But maybe we can still make it work. To a degree at least. Let's give him some quickness training. And now we need to think about this for the others. So, I guess he can try to be an advanced forward too. Yeah, but without the passing training, obviously. He's not great pace-wise, but the big problem is the off-the-ball movement here. This is not good. Sam McHugh. I don't think so. Neither here. He can just keep those. But he can be an advanced forward too. That said, the physicals overall on these players aren't good enough, so this might not make much sense. And for him, target forward definitely. Once he comes in, I don't care about an advanced forward anymore. We will go with the long balls towards his head, towards Elina's head. So he's the alternative option for goal scoring threat. And then the rest of the squad is really whatever. So this tells us all of these are basically passers in a weird way. They try to retain possession, and in case an opportunity comes up, they are going with the long ball towards Wayne Cloyd. And most likely the opportunity should be used by Aaron McIver. So we have shorter passing, slightly lower tempo, no working ball into box. I guess we can pass into space, but that's too much emphasis on this, so I will take this off. Time wasting is okay from the start to me. Playing for set pieces would be okay, but our set piece takers are horrible if I'm not mistaken. They are not great. So maybe we can find somebody that has, I don't know, good free kicks, for example. 5 goals can make a lot of difference if we can find somebody with decent free kicks. And in transition, rolling it out, sure, counter, regroup, yeah, this is a defensive formation overall. Lower defensive line, a low block, press more often, and given the strength of the squad, I'm not so sure that this is a good idea to go in to tackle harder. Overall, probably not. Some of them are really weak. And the rest of them, well, you know, they've been instructed specifically to tackle harder, in case they know how to do it. So what's left in the squad? Not much. As bench options, Morgan Owen might even come along. He had a broken collarbone. Yeah, but I'd rather have him on the bench alongside Kirk and Brotherton than 2 identical strikers, which are not that useful. 6.4. 6.55. Apparently this is how you get into the squad. Great. Press conference. Goitre United have been widely tipped to struggle to avoid relegation. Can you see them surviving? I'd rather focus on my team, please. Great. No comment is a good comment. So, any ideas? Did I forget something? Sure, we could use a second formation, right? A second mentality. We'll get to that in a second. So, but I don't want to do yet another... yeah, forget about it. We'll just copy this. Can we copy this? Might. We'll see. But thank you very much for mentioning this. So, you got any reason to think... say why would this backfire? What's the problem with it? From your perspective? Okay, so it's a guess. Okay, your guess is as good as mine. You might be just right with that. Sure. So now I want to include something that's a bit more attacking. So let's say we go with wing play. I think this is more like it. Shorter passing is still okay, because really long passing will not work. Low crosses are still okay, but problem is the combination of wasting time. Fairly wide. The fairly wide is just in attack though. But you are right, the fairly wide is not strictly needed here. In fact, we can do this fairly narrow. We don't need to be wide with this, right? We can go through the middle in the defensive, well, in the cautious setup. In the attacking setup, I'm gonna do it in a different way anyway. So there's no time wasting here. No lower tempo. I wanna go with something that is a bit more tossing the dice, basically. Yeah, but in the defensive formation, we just want to go with whatever. Just take the point, or whatever the result is right now. We don't care about scoring that much. We can obviously do this without time wasting, as a default. But this is about retaining control of the ball most of the time, so I guess we can have a talk about this and debate it all day long. You might be right with that. It really depends on the circumstances, isn't it? By the way, I still owe you a nickname. So in case you see a player or a coach that seems appealing to you, please let me know. And I will rename him into Explosive Birthday Cake or whatever it is you decide. Yeah, well, I wanted to do... I just don't want to forget about that. Seriously. I owe you that much. Okay. So... Even though I want to play like this, it's probably not a good idea, because nobody in that squad is capable to finish, other than the striker. I got your messages recently. Oh no, I will not. And if I do, I will just toss the dice. In particular not because I would probably pick a staff member because they are more likely to stick around. Which is not a very strong statement here. So, yeah. On the other hand, one of the players might be more on display. Whatever. Just decide and tell me. So... yeah, with the attacking stuff. Shorter passing is okay, some sort of wing play is okay, at least on the left. He's not great at it, but who cares? 171. I didn't get that. Could you elaborate, please? No, I don't get it. Rolling it out is still a thing. Oh, it's your hate. Now I get it. Okay. Let's have a look if there's... Jamie Roberts is 170. Let's see if there's somebody in here. 172 for Sean McCaffrey. Chris Johns. This is a weird way to do it, but I respect it. No. Okay, so we've got a player that is 1 meter 70, and we've got a player that is 172. I guess you can decide if you want the guy that you know, that resembles you. You'll take the 172. All right, where was he? That one. That's a 30-year-old winger. Okay, Sean McCaffrey it is. Sick nickname. Explosive birthday cake. There we go. I will call him the Cake Man going forward. So he will have another nickname on top of that, because explosive birthday cake is a tongue breaker. Cake grenade? That's okay. I can live with that. This sounds, yeah, that's okay. Cake grenade is good. So, by the way, that's, I really like that. Cause, you know, nicknames on the internet are vastly different from what you call out people in real life. Nobody calls me No Use for My Soul in real life for some, I don't know, Mr. Cake Grenade, for some reason. So, yeah, nicknames for the footballers pitch. Mr. Cake Grenade is okay. I'll just have to wait. Also chocolate. If there's any left, that is. Alright. I definitely need to drink. Mr. Cake Grenade. Is this how you do it in English, right? Yeah. There's a point behind it, sure. There it is, Mr. Cake Grenade it is. I can see that going for a long while. That is, if we do not need to let him leave, but hopefully we will keep him for a while. He's pacey, so he stands a chance. I wanted to finish the attacking tactic. But there's not much to change anymore. We just push up and here. We press up high with a higher defensive line, get stuck in, trigger the press more often, step up more. That's it. One is a rather structured and the other one is a flexible mentality. This is an away game, so we will try the cautious one. We've got a physio. Welcome to the club, sir. Welcome to the club. And I think our scout needs to learn how to scout opposition. Future opposition. So we will do that immediately. Yeah, he can recommend a signing too. Thank you very much. Scouting. Okay. Okay. That's a recommended goalkeeper. That's not too bad. So this is great. For this level, this is great. Handling, kicking, and one-on-ones. That's okay-ish. I guess the one-on-ones should be better, but for a 22-year-old, why not? He's got decent reflexes, a good throw for this level. I don't like the tendency to punch or rush out, but whatever. Anticipation is a bit off. And his positioning is horrible. But otherwise, this is okay. We need a replacement for a goalkeeper. Also, he's on a 65 euros per week contract. What the hell? So, what's his status there? We do not know. I will, man. I will. And then we will have vastly different opinions on stuff, and we will debate for 2.5 hours and annoy everybody on the stream. This is how it works. But not now. Let it just fail first. I'll try. But that frequently, that might include that we pause the game from time to time. So it subtracts from the flow of the game. I will try to do that anyway, because I think you know, this is Football Manager. This is not football spectacle whatever simulator with fireworks. So if tactics is part of the game, we might as well play it like a tactical game. Take a break from time to time, pause the game a bit, see if we can make adaptations that make sense, and really think through these. This is one of the benefits of a stream, because everybody can have a different opinion on that. We can debate that, and then it will go horribly wrong anyway. But some stuff we will find and we will agree upon. So maybe that's good. Apparently this takes a while. No, there it is. Okay. We have a replacement keeper. Fantastic. Fantastic. So I don't think we will be able to sign him. He's very interested in a loan, but that's it. Is he better than... Massaro? Yeah, by a landslide. He's a bit slow, but otherwise that's okay. So we would take him in for loan. I guess as a first choice goalkeeper. Until the end of the season. Oh, he's 22. He would need to be registered. No, I don't want this. Seriously. I'd rather have... I don't know. If I need to register the player until the end of the season, I don't like it. But to rely on loan players a bit is probably a good idea. And I will shortlist him. So everybody expects us to draw. Interesting. That certainly raises expectations. And in his case, we promised him to... We don't know yet. I don't think we promised him to play. He comes as a youngster or backup or something. And if he does come with first team expectations, well, whatever. We don't need to fulfill them, right? Okay. So... Apparently everybody's angry with this. Let's see how angry they are at the end of the season. Because his throws are horrible, his kicking is decent. Anticipation and agility aren't great, communication isn't great. The rest of his attributes though, they are okay. Reflexes are good, anticipation is horrible, concentration isn't great, but okay. Positioning, communication, he needs them both. We will do this. And he's been promised to be a breakthrough prospect. So basically we play him once or twice and he's fine with it. So we will drop the second striker. And then do it like this. Now we've got a backup as a goalkeeper. And let's just compare this to Massaro for a second. Yeah, Paul Coleman has a really weird sample of attributes, but we knew that. On the other hand, now we've got a fairly professional player, and he came in for free. So whatever. Sure, there's cost of opportunity, we could do better, but we can't just send him back, right? So, anyone wants to take a guess? Supporters and the board expect us to draw. Explosive Birthday Cake already stated his opinion. He's been loaned out. I guess we can keep him on the short list. First win of the season it is. At least that's what we're going for. Somebody might take over Cloyd anyway. Cool. There's no opposition instructions to be had because we do not have an assistant manager. We need a squad number. Yeah, okay, Paul Coleman needs a squad number. Whatever. He can have the 20. And we will check the tablet immediately. We don't even know about the formation. This is an away game, so this might be a bit much though. Most of these are composed, some of them are normal, and 2 guys are motivated. So one thing that I never do, but I want to do, is to look at the personalities and determine the feedback. He's media friendly and balanced, so this is middle of the road. We have no idea. Doesn't work. Jamie Roberts is a fairly professional player, and we don't know about his media handling from here, but he's level-headed. So he's loyal and professional, if I'm not totally mistaken with this. As a professional, I think we can be more demanding, a little bit at least. Yeah, that works. Morgan James, 21-year-old balanced, I'd rather encourage him. That's good. Sam Jones, professional, 32-year-old. He's level-headed too. I will demand more of him. Doesn't work. McDowell is fairly determined. Yeah. Is there anyone else in this squad that comes to mind that needs to be pushed? These are young guys. He's resolute though. That works. He's spirited. That works. And the rest of them... Somebody told me that I need to be more demanding. I guess I'm trying to do it on behalf of the personality of the players. I'm not sure what to do with the unambitious guys. So we will do it like this. And at least some of the squad have been inspired with more demanding talks. despite being away at whatever this is called. Goitre United. Okay, I didn't look at the formation, so I will pause this immediately. Sorry. No. So we have a long ball turtle formation, it seems. Some sort of. 7 in the back plus the goalkeeper, who coincidentally is called Cloyd. Fantastic. I want to look into these. They are rather fast. That might be a problem. So, let's have a look. He's a decent jumper with acceptable pace, good dribbling, and a really horrible finish. That said, with that pace and so on, it might be a problem. He's a lone striker though. There's nobody there to support him. He's not match fit. He's a 19-year-old with not that much strength. On the other hand, he's got a good dribble, so I guess we try to trigger the press on him. His off-the-ball movement is okay for this level. And he's got a strong... No. He doesn't have a weak foot. So, no showing to the weaker foot. This is a left... So in his case, he's a typical winger. If we show him to the right foot, that should reduce his effectiveness, right? So we show him to the right, so that he needs to cut inside. Which, coincidentally, also is good for our formation overall. In front of the goal there's a lot of manpower usually. So to show him inside should be the right choice. In general. Might still go horribly wrong, who knows. And to show him onto the left foot, same story. His long shots aren't great, his passing is a bit better. So I guess that's okay here. He's got a weak foot too. So let's show him onto the left. This is the wingback now. This is an inverted wingback, it seems. Same with him. Let's show him to the left. And this... John Kershaw. There's a bit all over the place. There we go. This is much better. So, Thompson Dyer. We don't know much about him. Neither of them are good passers. He's the best they have, passing wise. But if I look at that off the ball movement, so I guess this is one of the rare occasions where it's kind of obvious. He's a good jumper? No. He doesn't have good strength either. He has bad decision making. Doesn't matter though, his off the ball movement isn't great. He's a threatening passer though. So basically if we find anyone that has moderate strength, that can accidentally hit his foot from time to time, we're probably fine. Considering the fact that his dribbling is bad, I guess hard tackling it is. And tight marking. No, not that. So, who will do this? Well, the attacking midfielder on the right? Who's that? Oh, Mr. Cake Grenade, who is not strong. So we've got a problem there. But yeah, maybe somebody else will do it from time to time. But the plan now is to get rid of his speed and his technical capabilities just by marking him tightly. Is this guy? Should be this guy, right? I don't know. Maybe that. No, maybe this one. Sam Jones with a yellow card after 5 minutes. Great, you can ease off tackles now. This is not the one we instructed to tackle harder, by the way, this is the other one. Bowen, Martin... Mr. Cake Grenade doesn't intercept the ball and Edwards gets off a shot. There's the first problem. They are not instructed to play out of defense. So we have a dead ball situation here and that distribution will not go down well. We didn't win any of the headers. In fact, this ends up with us, but it's not a controlled situation. I don't like this. This is nice. Even though it's a cross. Johns towards McIver. Jenkins. McIver. Long shot. We will take this. Sure, they are not instructed to shoot that much, but that's okay. And that might end up as a corner. Yes, it does. Check the tablet frequently, Chris. So, we don't know about the roles yet. This is probably 2 wingbacks. This is probably 2 wingers. And for him, I don't know. But it looks a bit like a destructive formation overall. I'm not so sure about it yet though. If we look at this, seems kind of risky. And we give away another corner. Is there anything we need to do here? Sure, we can encourage them. This is an away game, so I guess they need to be encouraged from time to time. Worked for some of them. McIver is not a big fan. And we get a free kick. My heart just stopped for a split second. So now we play out of defense. Hopefully that's a bit better. Apparently it is not. Oh, it is. Nice one. Can he find a penetrating pass? Come on, play the killer ball. Play. What the hell? He took the shot. I guess we take the corner. But he should have taken the pass there. There's an advanced forward available after all. And there was a big gap. Corner by Jenkins. Nope. Jenkins towards Mr. Cake Grenade. The Cake Boy runs with the ball, goes for the cross. Jones is not the one to win the headers though. McIver. Nope. For some reason Cake Man is in the back. We probably need to redo these instructions. James. Martin. James. McIver. Decent pass. Johns. Oh, he hits the post. And it's offside. Cloyd with a long ball. Well, he went in for the header. What's this? Martin, well tackled. Will he go for a second one? Edwards. He tries. Massaro. No good goalkeeping, but altogether it worked. Toms, not offside. Roberts, well defended. Edwards. Nice cross. James towards Johns. Martin, Jenkins. There's a decent pass. McIver. Jenkins again. Johns. Jones. And I think Cloyd was offside. Yeah, he was. So obviously things could be better. But so far, it's 0 both. If this gets us a point, I guess we're okay with it. Robots, well done. Not so much by McIver here. Tomps. That's a good ball. Results in a long shot. And remember, that striker didn't have good finishing. So as long as he's under pressure, I think we're okay. That's this guy. 1-2 finishing, 1-6 long shots. So we just need to... We can't let him run away with it, basically. Let's have a look at the tablet. The right wing looks a bit more physically challenged than the left wing. On the left wing we've got a yellow card though. This guy doesn't have great tackling, but I don't feel like it's viable to focus on one wing right now. Probably not through the middle, which is where we try to play. On the other hand, I don't think it's a good idea to focus play down the wings. The playmaker is in the middle, right? So we kind of get that naturally. And this is 2 destructive roles here. So passing 1-8. Come on. And Dyer has passing 1-7. If we close them down here, ignore the central defenders, because their passing will be really shitty, hopefully. Yeah, 1-4, 3-9. Well, okay. So their passing is not that bad, but still, over long ranges, I don't expect them to play the killer ball. So, say we close down these. Then we should force mistakes. Wiltshire. He has decent passing, I think but we're instructed to mark him tightly, right? And Perry Jones. That's not great passing either. So if we close down Tom Steyer and Perry Jones, for example. Tom Steyer and Perry Jones. Trigger the press on all of them. Try to force mistakes. In the middle of the pitch though. So not up front. McDowell. Martin. And this ends up with the opponent's keeper, Mr. Cloyd. The encouragement finished. Tumps. Oh, this is a decent pass though. And that's not a good finish or a great save by Massaro. However you want to put it, this was really risky. Hopefully we do not face more of these. Well done, somebody will pick it up. Jenkins. Didn't do much with it though. Jones. With a long ball. Towards Thomas. Edwards. Toombs. Or maybe it's Toms. I don't know. Probably Toombs though. Dyer. This might be offside. It wasn't offside and it was yet another great save by Massaro. Or yet another horrible finish by whatever the name of their striker is. Jones runs down the left, finds McDowell in a rare attempt to influence the game in attack. Jones with a long ball towards Johns. Can he pick it up? Yes. Back towards Jenkins. McIver. Jenkins. McIver. Well, I guess the possibility to score is gone. McIver. Nice lob towards Johns. Cuts back inside. Johns. Oh no. Cloyd shoved Kershaw. Otherwise this would have counted. We would have had a goal. Perry Jones towards Lungson it is. Roberts. Well, they need to concentrate a bit, I think. It's not that great. Bone lobs it into the penalty area. Bone again, intercepted by McIver. Johns, can he find a pass? Yes, he can. Towards Mr. Cake Grenade. Come on, man. It's in. You chose the right player, sir. Fantastic. A wonderful goal on the counter. I'm happy. I'm not even sure if I should comment on that finish. I'm just happy that it went in. Seriously. That's all there is to it. Yet another long ball towards Lungson. Well intercepted by Martin. What a tackle. Cloyd. With a short pass. Martin, Jenkins, Cloyd again. Johns. Jenkins. Nice long ball by Jenkins towards McDowell. He uses them rarely. Hi, welcome to the stream. McDowell. McIver. And a long shot. What brings you here? Let us know. It can't be the big atmosphere and the ton of supporters. Free kick goal by McIver. I can't believe it. His free kicks is 7? 9? It's 6. 6 points of free kicks, and you can clearly see it. Given that it was targeted basically straight at the center of the goal. Yeah. The problem is, this is a Football Manager specific thing, I think. Look at it. Out of possession, it's a low block and a lower defensive line already. So I guess we can drop off more at this point. If this is what you're implying. Not a bad idea. But given that we are 2 goals up, we might as well absorb some pressure. Sure. Why not? Because the long balls are dangerous, yes. And thank you very much for the suggestion. I'm not sure if this is how it works, but if this is how it works, I'm happy to learn. And in that case, yeah, great. Thank you. James. That could have been a third. Well intercepted by McDowell. Jones, McIver, Johns. Runs through the center of the pitch. Long, well, it's a decent pass towards Cloyd. If only Cloyd had some pace in him. He went for the shot. That should do it for now. Cloyd, James, not a problem. Jenkins. 17-year-old with a long ball towards Mr. Cake Grenade. Will he go for another shot? He went with a pass, I think. Some sort of chip towards Cloyd. Jenkins. There's the corner. Nothing. McIver. Well done. Finds McDowell in the middle of the pitch with a lob, and Cloyd apparently is asleep, whilst the other Cloyd picks up the ball. Free kick by Perry Jones. That's a weird kind. Don't make me eat my words though. I guess this counts as a finish. Massaro picks it up though. Not a problem. And I think at this point we can praise the players, right? We are 2 goals up in an away game. That went down well. Don't play the long ball, James. Yeah. Roberts, McIver, Mr. Cake Grenade, whose real name I forgot already, so that's okay. James, Martin with a long ball towards Cloyd. Come on. Ah! A weak finish. But apparently this kind of football might work. At least for now. Johns. Nothing. Jenkins. He will just pick... He doesn't pick the pass. Oh! Bad anticipation by Mr. Cake Grenade. McDowell, Cloyd. Short pass towards McDowell. Jenkins, Cloyd again. And yet another shot. That's halftime. 45 minutes, and we... Well, at the start of the game it didn't look that well for us. But for now, we didn't give away any other chance. Maybe Sharon, you're just right with this. So maybe that's it. I will definitely praise the players. It's fantastic. Hopefully they can keep it up. Is there anyone that didn't play well? Well, Cloyd should have scored. Okay. And Jamie Roberts could have a better performance. But I'm not gonna be an ass about it right now. It's okay. It works. We're happy. Now we just need to make it through another 45 minutes. And given the formation and its stability for now, that's okay. We stand a chance. McIver. James with a long ball for some reason. Cloyd is not the one to win headers though. Long ball. McIver. Jenkins. Johns plays the... Nah. If only Cloyd had some pace in him. That didn't end up... Well, that didn't go well. It was offside anyway. Okay. We were lucky. Jones with yet another long ball for some reason. They are specifically instructed not to do this. McIver. Long ball towards Cloyd. Dyer. Let's have a look at the tablet. No change in roles so far. No change at all in roles. The central defender, Kershaw, looks a bit tired in comparison to Cloyd. Let's see his attributes, as far as we can tell. So, he's a decent jumper. And his positioning and marking are good. So, he doesn't have a blatant weakness that we can exploit with Cloyd. Otherwise, I would have picked him. But, what's this? Nothing. Offside. So my thought process was maybe Cloyd can outrun this guy, and we can tell him to man mark him to be closer to his opponent. but apparently that's not a thing. The other striker that we have on the bench is somebody that is rather tall and a bit stronger. Not a good match in this situation. I don't think we need him. McIver, Cloyd. This is what I wanted to see. Third of the game. First goal of the season for Mr. Cloyd. I guess that settles the debate who's the better one of the two Cloyds for today. Wonderful chip. Or is it a lob? Whatever. Somebody must teach me the difference at some point. Fantastic performance. And I think this was a classical Cloyd. Given that it went in just over the keeper. Great. Now we have 35 minutes to play the youth, basically. If only there was any youth available. That said, we've got somebody on a yellow card. And as much as I like Jones, I think this is a way to substitute at this point. We've got 3 stoppages, 5 substitutes, so Jones can come off, just due to the yellow card. We will not tell this guy to ease off tackles. So, Mr. Thomas, is there anything that is different with you? Not a great passer, whatever, this is all okay. Is there somebody that needs to... Well, they all need match experience, right? They all need some sharpness. So what can we do? None of these is really exhausted though. None of these plays really bad. I guess Jamie Roberts could be replaced, but he's the captain. So I'd rather have him on the pitch and get back into shape. I wouldn't say we need him, but I guess I want to give him a chance. Also, Morgan Oren is... he just returned from injury. His collarbone is still a bit fragile, so let's not overdo it. So that leaves us with Shay Kirk, who is... I don't know. He's a strong guy. And for a striker, he's a very good central defender. We don't need another central defender right now. I guess we could go with Shay Kirk and defensive forward, in case we want to turtle through the rest of the another 30 minutes. But I don't feel like we need to. That said, say Shay gets tired at some point. Wayne Cloyd gets tired at some point. Then Shay Kirk might make an appearance. Elina is not needed. Or maybe Elina, I don't know. And Ned Brotherton is more of a passer. I guess that makes some sense at some point, but not right now. So we'll go with a single substitute. Luke Thomas is young, a balanced player. He might feel some pressure here. On the other hand, we are 3 goals up. So I guess we can tell him, just go out and help us get the result through. Cloyd. Oh, finds a passing option with Jenkins. Martin. Mr. K Grenade is faster. That was close. That was really close. Jenkins. Nothing. These balls towards the near post. Not sure about that. McIver. Roberts with a cross. Martin. Yeah. Apparently that stuff happens from time to time. Roberts loses the header. Yeah, we had a few. Jenkins. Who inevitably... I can't pronounce it. Inevitably. Wow. I think that hit the crossbar. There was a change. There was a change out here. So what did they do? They brought on Kempster. Sol Kempster. Let's see. Is there anything that needs to change here? So there's no specific instructions for the new striker or for the new ball-winning midfielder. This guy is a much better finisher. He's a good dribbler and he's got decent pace and acceleration. 32 though. We have no yellow cards on the pitch. So I guess at this point we can roll the dice. We don't care much if... say we give away one free kick and this results in an opponent's goal. Obviously we don't want that. But on the other hand, we can roll the dice on it. Because if we deny them the opportunity in 2 other occasions, that's totally fine. So I guess we can go with hard tackling. Obviously close him down. And he's really weak though. His off the ball movement is just okay-ish. So I guess we can do it all. Does he have a weak foot? Sure. Let's show him onto the weaker foot. So all the instructions. Good idea, but I think he... With our striker, yeah, that's a good idea. Sure, but he's instructed to dribble more because he has good dribbling. I think this is the way the yellow cards appeared, or maybe not entirely, but it certainly helped. It might have helped. So he has dribbling 9, decent composure, decent technique. First touch is not that great. And he's really slow with the dribbling. This is why we didn't see, you know, those through balls that usually happen with an advanced forward. That said, in this match it worked out just fine. I want to do the other player here too. Sol Kempster. Is there anything that comes to mind with regards to this guy? He's got really good tackling. These are AI generated. This is the new gen face pack. You can just Google it. It's spelled, or I will link it to you. Give me a second. This should be it. Oh, you know it. Okay. So, but for everyone else, right? There might be somebody that doesn't know this. So this is the new gen face pack. The instructions are basically in the article, or in the video that Sealant did some time ago. It works just fine with FM23. So whatever real faces you see, most of them are new gen faces at this point. We're in 2028, right? But I like that face pack very much, and it's only like 10 gigabytes or something. I would love for Sealant and company, in this case, to just do another one with 25 gigabytes of additional newly generated faces, because sometimes there's duplicates, and I don't want that. I'd rather have another 15 gigabytes wasted on my hard drive. Alright, so Kempster, one thing comes to mind immediately. He's a good tackler, but if I look at that strength, that doesn't feel like somebody that is strong physically. So I guess we can go in hard there too. Okay. I feel like in, I don't know about Colombia, obviously, but I feel like I can tell too. But this is the other way around. The new gen face pack looks like there's decent mug shots that are, you know, in Germany we call them biometric. I'm not sure if this is the same way it's called in English, but it looks like biometric pictures. The shots of the real players are sometimes like, you know, like, so I don't want to expose anyone, but Mr. Elina here doesn't look like he belongs in a face pack. This is a real picture. You can tell. He looks like he had 3 pounds of bacon. So, yeah. Alright, Morgan James is a bit tired. Do we have anyone that can play central defender? Sure. We could play Shea Kirk at this point. Because James did his job. Kirk is not a wonderful central defender, but for a striker, he's a decent defender, right? He's slow though. But whatever. Doesn't matter much. Anyone else that's really tired? I guess we could try to strengthen defense. McDowell is just fine though. I don't want to bring McOwen on. Brotherton doesn't seem like a viable choice either. And Elena, we just don't need him. In another game maybe. So we will use the second break and I don't know. 5 minutes out we will bring on a few other players. Yeah, we could. But I don't feel like we have a priority here, if that makes some sense. It's not like Cake Grenade and Johns are... It's not like one of them is more important. Sure, one's got a nickname. I hope Explosive Birthday Cake will forgive me for saying this, but I do not want to have a preference due to the nickname, if that makes sense. And both had a good game. Overall. But we will rest some of them later, maybe. Let's give him another 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can substitute a rest, because afterwards we don't care about injuries anymore. We might as well play this game, well, you know, play down the clock with 10 players in case somebody gets injured. So, let's wait for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then give him some time on the pitch. Jenkins. Can we do another? Apparently not. Thomas. With a long ball towards Cloyd. McDowell. But your suggestion to rest players overall, I think I agree with. Also, there's one other thing that comes to mind. I think the time wasting can go on to very frequently now. Alright, that's it. 15 minutes to go. And now there's a picture. See? So, Martin and McIver are the ones that are tired. McIver is a really important player for us going forward. So we will bring on Brotherton. He's more of a passer anyway. He can play in central midfield. And we thought we would need to play him as a playmaker prior to signing McIver. Well, signing. We basically brought in a 17-year-old that plays for free. Harry Martin needs to be substituted too. In Harry Martin's case, I'm not so sure what to do. I guess Morgan Owen could make a comeback and try to be ball-winning midfielder for a few minutes. Or Freddie Wiles could. Freddie Wiles is strictly a wingback. I guess McDowell could be, but could be in you know. Alright, Owen it is for Martin. Hopefully he's okay with this. He has 15 minutes. He's not a strong guy. I think the ball-winning midfielder role doesn't suit him very well. He's a more or less somebody to pass the ball around. So maybe we can try Anchorman here. Yeah. That might do it. So less on the physical side, I guess. And then we have one more substitute to go with. I guess we can use either of those. So who needs it more? Let's bring Elena on. So Mr. Cake Grenade will play through. But we will put him on pressing forward. On defend duty, that is. So he closes the gap in midfield here. Hopefully he does. And will help us defend and hold on to the result. Scoring, not that important anymore. And Morgan Owen can have his comeback. 15 minutes, hopefully he will do. Jamie Roberts is tired too, so
Thanks
we
for
might
the
still
follow.
have problems. And thank you very much. Well done. Elina, the target man, picks up the ball, drives it forward. Oh, what a horrible pass. What a horrible pass. If I look at this now, that's a bit much, right? So this is hard to determine, but it looks like this menu is new. Apparently this game gets patched and we get features instead of bug fixes. Well, okay. But if I look at this, this seems too defensive to me. I'd rather have him close down these two. It's not horrible, but support duty will probably do. Don't put it into touch. Well, I guess that's okay, Mr. Roberts. I guess that's okay. Let's see. 4 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Wiltshire, Turner, over. Let's praise the squad. Be happy with the result. Owen apparently would have preferred... No, he's anxious and lacking match fitness. Yeah, I guess that's the point, man. That's why we brought you on. Kirk. Mr. Cake Grenade. Come on. Oh. Why? Brotherton. Long ball by Brotherton. No target available. Doesn't matter. 2.5 minutes to go. I will look this up later on. If we see this through, which is highly likely at this point. Owen, Brotherton. This will probably be the first time we win since, I don't know. Club overlapping, I think, 10 games at least. That or I forgot a win. But I think it's been a while. Don't do this to me. So we gave away another chance, and can we have a repetition of this? Well, we might later on. But the problem was Kirk in this situation. This was the right central defender that didn't keep up with the... Well, there was a giant gap. Look at that acceleration and pace. That's where it came from, I guess. So we gotta be careful with this. He's an option for the last 5 minutes, in case we need somebody to, yeah, replace on the pitch, basically. But for a real competitive environment, I don't think he's viable. Thomas, Massaro, it's Massaro, McDowell. Long ball by McDowell towards Johns. He's tired. Can he spot the pass? Apparently. Well, he spotted the pass, but that's the end of it. Not much else. McDowell doesn't win the duel. Thomas does, though. Well intercepted. And that's it. 0-3. And 3 points. I'm not sure if we should be happy with that. So, in this phase of play, we didn't try to score anymore. We were in, what's the name? Well, we tried to get through with the game. Basically, disrupt play and avoid conceding. So, in containment mode, that's it. We were in containment mode here, so I don't care that much about this. Overall, the incline here feels fine. There's a constant momentum. There was no break. There's a break for them though, and I want to give that compliment to Jaron Nullet, I think, because it might have. I think you might be right about that dropping off a bit more. That's the instruction that was missing probably. So I'm happy with that. Really happy. Thank you very much. Apparently, one of the supporters screamed some sort of instruction towards the coach. I don't know what a cake grenade is. I don't. It's not for me to decide. You have to ask Explosive Birthday Cake. He determined that name. He earned that by collecting channel points. That's the way it works here, at least for now. Alright, we've got 2 weeks to go, and it's 1852 here. Yeah, okay. So, I just got a message, and it seems like my better half will be at home in 10 minutes. So I will not do a break now. I will go for another 5 to 10 minutes of stream, and then we will wrap it up. But we can talk to the players and maybe think about the match a little bit together. And maybe find out what a cake grenade is. If we get that information. We might ask Google. So, Mr. Cook is not that happy with the defeat, I guess. Press conference. Are we delighted with the performance and the subsequent victory? I guess. Yeah. And this is really what I expected. So, Aaron McIver is... for some reason, he by the way, he has a buzzsaw on the pitch. So, whatever the picture is here, he has decent vision, decent technique, decent passing, first touch is good. Overall, I think he's the one to play these passes. The problem is his anticipation isn't that great, but for now, he had some match experience, and he's a 17-year-old, right? He's a 17-year-old, so he has a long way to go. You have the answer to the cake grenade, hopefully. Would you be willing to tell us? And please tell me it has nothing to do with family unfriendly stuff, because otherwise I will be very ashamed. I might turn red or something in the face. Blushing it is in English, right? I might blush. Oh, he scored a goal. Sure. He's really good. He has great potential. Problem is he might not realize it at this club. So his morale isn't perfect for some reason. That cannot stand. 4 key passes, 1 chance created, no good tackling, but he scored, so I guess we praise him on the goal. Yeah, would you be willing to share the answer, though? At this point I'm interested. Well, I guess I was interested from the start. Overall, this is fantastic. Fame and the everlasting thoughtfulness of Sharon Nullet, I guess. Also mine. I don't know what to promise you, man. You got a victory. Isn't that good? By the way, victory. So we didn't get a single victory in here prior to that. That makes it 1, 2, 3 games. We were not in management for these 2. So that makes it 3 games without a win. And now we go back to Yidder Hawkdals, hopefully. Hopefully I can determine Which game was the one that we got fired? I don't know anymore. We should have looked up the date. No, it's an easy one. It was the one against Trollhättan. We got fired after losing to Trollhättan because Trollhättan was in 15th spot and we were 16th. We would have needed to win this. But it's a bit of a comfort that they managed to get 2 points out of 2 for 5 games afterwards. So I guess there's a slight improvement since we were removed from management, and they will go down. They will go back where they belong, despite us being fired. So minor consolidation emotionally. Anyway, so 3 games we said. 2, no. And there's 6 games here. So that makes it 9 games without a win before we pulled off this 3-0 club overlapping. I guess that's the end of a bad run for now. 22 days until the next game. There's match practice and all that stuff in here. There's a lot of match practice and all that stuff in here. There might be a cup game or something. There is no cup game. So I guess we have a break. That means we can think about staff, find staff members, and do a lot of transfer business in the next few weeks. So this will be what the next episode is about. A cake grenade is a magic explosion of sweet goodness and magic goodness. Okay, that sounds very focused on tasteful emotions. I'm not that much wiser, to be honest, but I guess that's fine. There's also cake that isn't sweet though, isn't there? It's tasteful magic emotions. Alright, it's magic. It's magic. Just like the goal Mr. Cake Grenade scored today. So I'm happy with that. Alright. Shall we talk to the players? He didn't concede. So I guess we can praise him. That's it. Jamie Roberts. 7.1 rating. Not a fantastic performance. For some reason he managed to end up with a 7.1 in the end. He was on a 6.6 for the majority of the game, I think. I don't want to praise him on that, really. He might not accept it. He's a professional. So he probably has higher standards. This guy, not so much. This is okay. I will praise his heading. 13 out of 16 is fine. Yeah, why not? I guess that counts. This one... He reminds me of Hagedal. If that makes sense. Well, if you're new to the stream, it doesn't. But if you've been around for a while, it might make some sense. He is okay-ish, but a 7.0, yeah, that's a fine game, but not great. Alex McDowell, 2 out of 2 tackles, that's an easy one. So even though he's just on a 6.9 rating, even though it's only a 6.9 rating, I guess we can praise his tackling, because that's at 100%. Harry Martin had a decent game. 8 out of 8 headers though. The problem is he didn't play as a central defender. I guess his passing wasn't great either. His shooting was okay, not that it matters. Didn't create that many chances. No. I will not praise him on anything. That's just a recipe for disaster. Then we will have something else explode here. And I do not want that. We already praised Aaron McIver. That's fine. George Jenkins. For some reason his first name is not Leroy. I don't know why that is. Not that great. Not bad though. This might be something along the lines of close to 90% passing. So I guess 90% passing is fine. Yeah. We will go with that. Mr. Cake Grenade. Scored a goal. That's it. That's totally fine for us. Chris Johns had an assist. I like the assist. I do not like the heading. I do not like the passing either. And the problem is he didn't create that many assists. So I guess we can try to praise him on the assist, but that's a gamble. Yeah. See? Now he's unhappy. Mr. Cloyd, I think Mr. Cloyd scored, and that's all there is to it. 3 out of 5, sure. But his passing was really good too. So, there's that. What about the others? Coleman didn't play. Luke Thomas did play. 7.1, 4 out of 4 headers. So, no problem with headers this time. We go with this. Freddie Wilds. Did he play at all? No, he didn't. Morgan Owen played for a few minutes. No rating. Shay Kirk. He was barely tolerable. 13 out of 16 passes though is okay. But I don't think we can praise his passing. That said, nothing bad happened and his heading was okay. 80% heading is okay. So we can go with that. Nat Brotherton played as some sort of substitute playmaker. Nothing to tell. And James Alina, substitute striker. Not much to tell. Yes, his passing was okay, but it's barely worth a rating. That's it for today. Thank you very much for sticking around. And I will do some real life stuff now. I will probably get back to you tomorrow if I can help it. That said, if I don't, feel free to bother me on the Discord server. And, you know, otherwise, feel free to follow along, subscribe, whatever happens. We'll see. Sure, that's it. And in case you watch this later on YouTube, you might want to come over to Twitch. So, have a nice evening. Bye.